Alright, hello algebra students, and welcome to online class with Mrs. Dodge. This is how class is going to be for the next 6 weeks or so. So let's get comfortable and used to it, shall we? You should have your notebook right now, and you should be doing everything in your notebook with me, just like we normally do. Para mis estudiantes hablan español. Lo siento porque mucho inglés. Pero por favor, tienen tus cuadernos para notas. Sí. Do your best. Trabajar muy fuerte. I believe in you. Yes. You can see we're gonna have an entry task, just like usual. Today's Flipgrid question is going to be linked in the slides. My answer's already there, so go give your answer if you want to. If you're watching this video, you've already found today's YouTube lesson, but in case you are looking at the notes primarily, there will always be a link to the YouTube lesson in the notes for you, should you want it. And then, of course, as part of our entry task, you're going to try a problem from the last time we were in class. So pause the video and try that problem now. And I'm going to do it right now. So pause it, you do it yourself, and then unpause it to see if you were correct. So the question is to multiply two binomials. I know that I'm supposed to multiply because the parentheses tells me that I'm going to be multiplying these two things. So anytime I minus 4x times 2x plus 6, let's make that a little bit bigger. Anytime I am multiplying two binomials together, I can FOIL them. Or as we discovered in Spanish, it is PADAFU. PADAFU was the acronym in Spanish for first, outside, inside, and last. So let's get some color coding up in here. First, the F stands for first, and that means the first two terms in each of our binomials. So I'm going to do 8 times 2x, which will give me 16x. I do the 8 times the 2, and the x comes along for the ride. Next, we're going to look at the outside. The outside is whatever's on the outside by the two parentheses on either end. So that'll be 8 times 6, which is 48. Next, we have inside, which means, you guessed it, the two terms on the inside by the two parentheses touching each other. So this will be negative 4x times 2x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And x times x is x squared. And last, but certainly not least, we are going to do the last terms, which means both terms on the end, the last term in either binomial. So, negative 4x times 6. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. And the x comes along for the ride. Last thing that is left to do is to combine all of these terms together. I'm going to do it with the squared first, and then the x's, and then the numbers. So we have negative 8x squared plus 16x minus 24x plus 48. Ooh, almost ran out of space. That was close. And remember that anytime I have two terms with just an x, I can combine like terms. So I'll have negative 8x squared, and then 16, negative 24 plus 16 gives me negative 8. So this will be negative 8x plus 48. And because I can no longer combine any like terms, that is my final answer. So we will FOIL everything, and then, or we FOILed everything, excuse me, and then we added them all together, combined like terms, and we're done. Just like we did on Thursday of last week. Okay. Thanks for doing that problem with me. That should be in your notes, hopefully, so that you have a reminder, since we've had quite a few days since last Thursday. So that is how you FOIL, or how you multiply, binomials. Now, on to what we have for today. Today's learning target is that you know how to multiply trinomial. What did trinomial? Talk about that in a second. And the success criteria says I can multiply binomials and trinomials. Okay, remember that binomials had two terms, so that's something like 2x plus 5. That's a binomial. A trinomial has 3 terms, so something like this. That would be considered a trinomial, because I have 1, 2, 3 terms. Here I have 1, 2 terms. So today we're going to be multiplying binomials and trinomials together. We're going to multiply them together, see what happens. Social contract word of the day. I'm probably going to take that out because we are not here as a class looking at our social contract to choose one. But you can choose one for yourself. What word do you think will help you with this learning target and success criteria? If it sounds scary to you, maybe calm would be a good word to have. Or if you really want to be outside right now because the sun is shining, maybe attentive would be a good word to have so that you're very focused on what we are doing today. Whatever word you want, what do you think you should focus on? But we're going to multiply binomials and trinomials together. So let's get started. Here is our example for today, is multiplying a binomial and a trinomial together. So what we're going to do is very similar to FOILing, but a little different. Remember our distribution rainbows from anytime we distribute? So that's basically what we're going to do here, is I'm going to take the first term in my binomial and I'm going to distribute it to everything over here. So everything in this trinomial gets an x. So I'm going to do x times x squared, which is x cubed. Rewrite that. X cubed. Then I'm going to do x times negative 3x. Going to get messy real fast. X times negative 3x is the negative 3x squared, because x times x is x squared. And next, I'm going to do x times negative 2, which is negative 2x. Awesome. Cool. Great. I am going to put that over here. X cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x. I'm going to put that over here for safekeeping, because now we are going to focus on, let's do blue. We're going to focus on the second term in our binomial. Now we're looking at the 5. And we're going to do distribution rainbows again. Everything in the trinomial gets a 5. The 5 goes to everything. So I'm going to have 5 times x squared, just 5x squared, 5 times negative 3 is 15, and the x comes along for the ride. And 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Beautiful. So now I have kind of these two pieces of the puzzle. I have the x combined with everything and the 5 combined with everything. Now I just have to put it all together. Distribute the x to get the red stuff, distribute the 5 to get the blue stuff, and we're just going to put it all together. So let's go back to the black here, and I'm going to have x cubed minus 3x squared. Let's put our x squareds together. So here are the x squareds, and here are the x's, and then there is the x cubed and the 10. Those are kind of just their own thing. They don't get combined with anything. But so I have my negative 3x squared and my 5x squared. So those can go together. And then I have my negative 2x and my negative 15x. Those can go together. And then just my negative 10 sitting over here. Now let's just put it together. Let's put it together. So the negative 3x plus 5x squared, that is the x cubed. That is positive 2x squared. Next, we'll put the x's together. Ooh. Together over here. Ooh, still, sheesh kebab. Negative 2 minus 15. That is negative 17x. And then the minus 10 comes along for the ride. Ta-da! Okay, so just to recap, I take my first term in the binomial. I take x. I multiply it to everything in that trinomial. Everything. And then that gives me my red trinomial down here. Then I take the 5. I take the second term in the binomial and I multiply it to everything in the trinomial. That gives me my blue stuff. Then I take the red stuff and the blue stuff and I combine them. I put them together, and that is what gave me all of this. So, I hope that made sense. I know I'm not there to do a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, but do that for yourself right now. Are you good? Are you kinda sorta, or are you not getting it? So kind of self-evaluate, self-assess how you're doing right now. Remember that if you have questions, you can ask me on my live stream, which will be around 12 o'clock each day. So ask me then if you have any questions. And yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Oh, which has the solutions. So look at that. See, you multiply the 5 by everything, the x by everything, and then you put them all together, just like we did. If there are questions, tune into my live stream, comment in the Google Classroom, email me personally. I've already had a few students do that. You might have heard the little blings already from students emailing me today. So congrats if you were one of the students emailing me. Good for you for being responsible. Make sure that you ask your questions to be responsible. Your classwork. I guess it's all homework now because we're doing school from home. Only 4 questions. Just 4 questions. Please make sure that you try those. I'm probably going to be posting solutions to the homework more now that we're not here, we're not together to be doing them in the same place so that I can help you with your questions. So I'll probably upload solutions to this, but definitely try it for yourself. Make sure that you know what's going on and ask questions if you have any. Okay, next is your launch. So, launching you off now that we're done with the lesson. Done, yeah. Yep. This is everything I have for you today. So the challenge in life as a person is not to be perfect. You'll never be perfect. I am not perfect. Your parents aren't perfect. Your boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other is not perfect. The challenge isn't to be perfect though, because no one can ever be perfect. Challenge is to be whole. Whole meaning healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, for you to be the way that you want yourself to be, and to feel whole inside and outside. So don't feel bad if you're not perfect. None of us are. And strive to be whole inside and outside. And that is all I have for you today. That is algebra with Mrs. Dodge. Thanks for tuning in, and see ya next time. Bye-bye.